Imagine walking into a Japanese classroom at the start of the school day. The silence is almost palpable, yet not tense. Every child sits neatly at their desk, ready, focused, yet calm. There's no chaos, no constant interruption, just an atmosphere of quiet diligence. You might wonder, how do Japanese children become so disciplined, so focused, and at the same time so emotionally resilient? The answer is neither magic nor authoritarianism. It is a deeply rooted cultural philosophy that intertwines discipline, subtle guidance, and carefully balanced freedom. From the earliest years, Japanese children are taught a sense of responsibility that is as natural to them as breathing. Even in kindergarten, they participate in daily routines that might seem surprising to Western eyes. Cleaning the classroom, organizing books, and taking care of shared spaces are not chores. They are lessons in accountability, cooperation, and pride. When a child sweeps the floor or wipes down desks, they are not punished. They are learning a social contract, the unspoken understanding that their actions matter, that they are part of a greater whole. This early exposure to responsibility fosters discipline organically. Children do not merely obey, they internalize a sense of order, understanding that discipline is not imposed, but chosen. Another key element is the cultivation of focus. Japanese children are introduced to learning in ways that emphasize attention and patience. Lessons are often structured to encourage deep engagement rather than rapid completion. For instance, a simple calligraphy exercise is not just about writing kanji. It is about slow, deliberate movements, concentration, and mindfulness. These practices teach children to value the process over the outcome, to be present in every task, and that comes from mastery. This form of focus is reinforced in every facet of school life. Group activities, music practice, and even lunchtime routines are designed to cultivate attention and order without overtly enforcing strict rules. Interestingly, discipline and focus do not mean rigid restriction. Japanese children also experience freedom, but in a very intentional way. The freedom given is structured, purposeful, and designed to teach self-regulation. For example, students often have choice in collaborative projects, in organizing school events, or even in selecting books to read. Within this freedom, there are clear expectations and boundaries. Children learn early that freedom is not the absence of rules, but the ability to make thoughtful decisions within a framework that ensures safety, fairness, and respect for others. This balance of freedom with responsibility helps children develop self-discipline naturally. They understand that their actions have consequences, and this awareness becomes part of their internal compass. Parental influence in Japan complements what is experienced at school. Parents often emphasize routines, consistency, and participation in household responsibilities. Morning and evening rituals, such as making the bed, setting the table, or preparing small meals, are not viewed as chores, but as integral parts of growing up. Parents model behavior, and children absorb it without the need for constant admonishment. There is a quiet, almost understated form of guidance. Children are expected to notice, emulate, and internalize these practices. This consistent modeling reinforces habits of discipline and attentiveness that schools also cultivate, creating harmony between home and learning environments. Peer influence also plays a significant role. In Japanese culture, group harmony, or wa, is a core value. Children learn that their actions affect not only themselves, but the community around them. This principle is embedded in classroom interactions, where teamwork and cooperation are valued more than individual competition. A child who disrupts the group does not merely face disciplinary action, they feel the social responsibility to align with the collective rhythm. This early social training enhances emotional intelligence, teaching children empathy, awareness, and restraint. The Japanese approach to mistakes is another remarkable aspect. Rather than punishing failure harshly, children are encouraged to reflect and correct. Mistakes are seen as opportunities for learning, not shame. When a child makes an error in a math exercise or a musical performance, the emphasis is on improvement and perseverance. This perspective fosters resilience and a growth mindset. Children understand that effort, persistence, and self-correction are far more important than avoiding failure at all costs. This mindset underpins their discipline. Children are not compelled by fear, but motivated by the desire to improve and contribute meaningfully. Daily routines are carefully crafted to blend structure with autonomy. Japanese children often walk to school in small groups called walking school buses, where older students look after younger ones. This practice nurtures independence, responsibility, and a sense of safety, all while reinforcing social bonds. Lunch is frequently a communal student-led affair where children serve food to classmates, clean up afterward, and manage timing. Even seemingly mundane tasks are opportunities to develop focus, discipline, and social skills simultaneously. Parents and educators also carefully manage the balance between structured activities and free play. Extracurricular activities like sports, music, or art are common, but children are not overscheduled. The time allocated for play is meaningful. It is often unstructured yet supervised in ways that allow creativity, social problem-solving, and self-expression. Here, the subtle genius of Japanese child-rearing becomes apparent. Children are neither overprotected nor left entirely to their own devices. They have room to explore, make choices, and express individuality, but always within a context that emphasizes responsibility and mutual respect. In essence, the Japanese system does not focus on enforcing obedience for its own sake. Discipline is a byproduct of a carefully crafted environment that combines clear expectations, meaningful routines, social awareness, and personal accountability. Focus is nurtured through engagement in tasks that require patience, attention, and mindfulness. Freedom is offered with purpose, teaching children self-regulation and respect for others. When combined, these elements create children who are disciplined yet curious, focused yet creative, and responsible yet free. What is striking is the longevity of these habits. Japanese children carry this balance of discipline and autonomy into adolescence and adulthood. They often exhibit high levels of perseverance, attention to detail, and emotional regulation. Even in a fast-paced modern world, the principles instilled early, responsibility, focus, and mindful freedom, remain deeply ingrained, shaping a generation that can navigate challenges with resilience and grace. As we delve deeper into the mindset of Japanese children, it becomes clear that their upbringing is not a rigid formula, but a delicate ecosystem. One of the most fascinating aspects is the interplay between discipline and self-expression. Unlike many Western approaches that sometimes pit freedom against structure, Japanese culture views them as complementary. Children are encouraged to express themselves, but this expression is always contextualized within a framework of social awareness. For example, during group projects, children may pursue individual ideas, but the final output must harmonize with the team. This teaches compromise, empathy, and the idea that personal freedom thrives best alongside social responsibility. The role of observation cannot be understated. Japanese children are taught to learn through watching and participating rather than being lectured constantly. In classrooms, teachers often demonstrate tasks slowly, and students are expected to observe carefully before attempting themselves. At home, children absorb family routines, etiquette, and problem-solving strategies simply by participating and observing. This method cultivates attention to detail, patience, and respect for processes, skills that are essential for both academic and life success. Another distinctive element is the subtle yet pervasive cultivation of mindfulness. Activities such as tea ceremonies, calligraphy, martial arts, and traditional arts are not merely hobbies. They are exercises in presence, discipline, and emotional control. A child practicing kendo, for instance, is not only learning combat techniques, but also focus, self-discipline, and respect for rules and opponents. Similarly, calligraphy teaches patience, precision, and aesthetic sensibility. These practices embed a lifelong ability to concentrate, self-regulate, and find satisfaction in effort itself rather than instant gratification. Interestingly, Japanese children are given autonomy in ways that foster problem-solving and independence. For instance, they may navigate school tasks with minimal direct adult intervention, learning to handle responsibilities such as homework, cleaning, and time management on their own. When faced with challenges, the expectation is that children will try, reflect, and correct mistakes rather than rely on adults to fix problems immediately. This builds resilience and self-efficacy, helping children understand that effort leads to growth and competence. Parental and societal expectations also strike a balance between encouragement and restraint. Children are guided to do their best without overwhelming pressure. Unlike hyper-competitive environments where fear of failure dominates, Japanese children often experience measured expectations that emphasize steady effort over dramatic results. The focus is on nurturing consistency, perseverance, and incremental improvement, a philosophy reflected in the proverb, "Little by little, one travels far." This approach allows children to pursue mastery while maintaining emotional balance. Social harmony, or wa, remains a central tenet throughout a child's development. Peer interactions are structured to encourage cooperation, respect, and empathy. Bullying is socially discouraged, and children are educated to value kindness, patience, and inclusivity. The subtlety here is that children internalize these norms naturally, not through constant admonishment, but through observation, modeling, and experience. The result is a generation that values both personal achievement and community well-being, a combination that reinforces discipline and emotional intelligence simultaneously. One might ask, where does creativity fit into this highly structured environment? The answer lies in the design of freedom within boundaries. Japanese children often have significant latitude within clearly defined contexts. Art, music, and project-based learning allow them to explore personal ideas, while societal norms guide respectful collaboration. This balance ensures that creativity is not stifled by rigidity, yet it is channeled constructively. Children learn that true innovation is rooted in discipline and that freedom without responsibility is incomplete. The Japanese approach also emphasizes intrinsic motivation. Praise is often subtle, focusing on effort rather than innate talent. A teacher or parent may highlight persistence, attention to detail, or improvement rather than simply praising results. This encourages children to value effort, develop self-motivation, and understand that discipline is a tool for personal growth, not just external approval. Over time, children internalize these values, becoming self-directed learners who can pursue goals with focus and resilience. Even in recreational contexts, lessons in discipline and focus persist. Traditional games, sports, and communal activities often involve rules, turn-taking, and strategy, teaching patience, respect, and cooperation. Outdoor play is not merely for fun. It becomes a context where children practice negotiation, empathy, and self-control. Every activity is an opportunity to learn, refine behavior, and integrate social and personal growth. Perhaps the most remarkable outcome of this approach is the seamless integration of discipline, focus, and freedom into daily life. Japanese children are not split into compartments of obedience versus creativity. They inhabit a world where each action, task, and interaction is both structured and meaningful. They learn to manage time, relationships, and personal growth simultaneously. They understand that freedom is best exercised within responsibility, that discipline is not punishment, but empowerment, and that focus is cultivated through engagement and reflection rather than coercion. By adolescence, the habits formed in childhood, attention to detail, self-discipline, resilience, and social awareness, manifest strongly. Japanese teenagers often demonstrate remarkable composure, work ethic, and emotional intelligence. They are capable of sustained effort, thoughtful decision-making, and respectful collaboration, even under pressure. This foundation sets the stage for adulthood, where personal and professional challenges are approached with the same balance of discipline, focus, and freedom nurtured since childhood. Ultimately, the Japanese approach to child development offers profound insights for parents and educators worldwide. It shows that discipline does not require harsh rules, focus does not demand rigidity, and freedom does not equate to chaos. Instead, it demonstrates that thoughtful routines, social modeling, mindful engagement, and carefully calibrated autonomy can create children who are disciplined, resilient, curious, and emotionally intelligent. These principles are not only relevant for academic achievement, but for lifelong well-being, creativity, and fulfillment.